Hello everybody and welcome to this next advent calendar video. As I mentioned in Wednesday's video that there wasn't gonna be a video yesterday, but I am back in full force. I'm bringing you the next video. As seen by the title and the thumbnail, you might have already guessed what we're doing today. But today we are going to build a tree farm for Erik. I'm going to place his house in a little bit, but first I'm gonna wall in resident surfaces. So I'm just gonna put a wall of castle items around it because I didn't really like having the house directly against resident surfaces. I wanted there to be a bit of a border between the house and resident surfaces, and I thought the castle items would be perfect for that. I'm gonna warn you in advance, it took me a really long time to get the measurements of these castle items right, because no matter what I did, I kept ending up with a little bit of a gap between one of the items, and it took me longer than I anticipated, but I figured out that it was due to the castle arch that is still on the left side here. Initially I wanted to have like two directions you could walk out of resident surfaces from, but in the end result you're gonna see that on the left hand side of resident surfaces I'm gonna eventually take out that castle arch, so you're just gonna have to walk out of it one way on the bottom side of it. And this is when all things still look fine, but this is what I'm talking about. I could have just left the castle tower like it was, but I didn't really like that the castle wall wasn't completely in the middle of it. And then I thought, okay, well maybe the problem isn't on this side of the build. Maybe I just need to shift it all backwards by a minuscule tile. It's not even half a tile, it's even smaller than that. So I ended up doing that, shifting all of these items back by a little. And then I moved the castle tower back, and then I was like, yeah, but now these castle items aren't lining up properly anymore. And this is when I ran into the problem of that I couldn't push that castle tower any further back, and it would be sticking out just slightly more than all of the other ones. So I didn't really quite like that either. And then I thought, okay, well, whatever I'm doing, the castle arch at least needs to be in the middle. So let's do that first. Not that that's really fixing the problem. So what I did, I cut that out of this video because it wasn't really necessary for this build, but I changed out the puffing that was there by a little bit, because at first I wanted the puffing to go like around the right hand side bottom corner of Resident Surface, and I wanted it to lead to another build, but I changed that puffing so it would just end right at the right side of Resident Surface, and you would just have to walk onto Resident Surfaces. That way and then I figured out that I needed to move the castle tower to the right side a little bit further to accommodate that problem. I don't know what I'm doing here, but apparently I'm taking these. Oh yeah, I was seeing if I could maybe move that castle tower back by one more tile to the right, but I figured out that I couldn't, and then okay, look, I'm trying to find an excuse to what I'm doing here, but in all honesty, my mind was really scattered when doing this build. Today was not really a good day for ACNH, but I really wanted to put out a video today, and it's not that I wasn't excited to do a build today, because I was, but there was just a lot going on today. I was distracted by a lot of things, and I just couldn't get my focus on, and that's why it basically took me an entire day to do just this simple build and editing this. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. There's 0 brain cells left in my brain, so I'm gonna apologize for this voiceover. It was also an annoying build because I kept running out of items. I needed to go back to this treasure island that I'm using multiple times, and every time it didn't occur to me to maybe grab some more items that I would possibly need. Yes, this is me placing down his plot finally. Doesn't mean we're really gonna start with a build yet, because as I was saying, I kept running out of items. I needed to go back to the treasure island, I needed to go back to Harvest Island. It was just a whole thing. Okay, so this is me finally at a point where I grabbed the appropriate items. And of course, I need to round off this one corner of terraforming. Very important, because yeah, you're definitely gonna see that in the end result if it's not rounded off. And before you ask, no, I did not place a vine on there before I placed back the castle wall that's supposed to be there. Am I probably gonna forget to ever place a vine there? Yeah, most likely. Do I care? No, not so much. This is the moment where I realized I didn't have the other dirt path, so I need to go grab that first. But here we are, now I do have it, and we can finally get started on the actual tree farm. And yes, I'm saying this prematurely, because even building this, even in building this tree farm, a lot of things didn't go as planned, and I needed to go back and forth quite a lot. It's just, I was really underprepared for doing this build today. But anyway, here we are. I am just putting down this dirt puffing first, and can I just say that I really like the look of the dirt puffing, especially on the snow in ACNH. I don't know what it is, but I love it. and here I had to wait for Walker to go out of the way before I could push in my storefront any further. They were really in the way today, and don't get me wrong, I love my ACNH villagers, but man, can they be in the way sometimes. I'm just slowly starting building this like little shop area. Yes, I did not mean to plant that cedar sapling there. I meant to drop it. Anyway, moving on. Yes, let's get our trees in this tree farm, because what is a tree farm without any trees, right? I did luckily not forget to stunt any of these trees, so hats off to myself. Yes, very proud moment. I did have to move around these saplings a little bit because I wasn't really sure yet where all of the placement of the trees was gonna be. And now I'm just trying to find the next spot for the next tree. I want them spread out enough that not the same heights of trees are right next to each other. Just trying, mix them around well enough that there's enough diversity in my trees. And speaking of villagers that are in the way, here we have Shep this time, just minding his own business. And now I am now I'm planting the last tree of this tree farm. And as I said, moving around some of these saplings so that they're just in between the trees and don't take up too much attention, because just a regular tree isn't really a Christmas tree after all. And I also am gonna place some of these cypress plants because they kind of do look like Christmas trees, just slightly smaller. So I'm dotting those around here and there. I never really was a big fan of the cypress plants, but you can't beat around the bush that they are really fitting for this build. I'm also going in with a few cedar saplings, that represent the trees that are still growing in for the season. And before doing anything else, I'm going to place down my pathing so I know where my trees are gonna go. I had to quickly take out the castle arch for a bit so that I could place the pathing underneath it. And as you can see, this is a little sped up just because otherwise this video would be way too long. I did want to keep it in because it is a vital part of the video. I'm finally getting better at it again. I've noticed that I'm a little bit rusty when it comes to placing down pathing, and it just took me a while to get it. And I also finally was able to use this like centerpiece with the gingerbread in it. I haven't been able to use it on the island yet, but it's so incredibly cute. I'm still very much in love with this buffing. And speaking of coats, I did get the question in my last video about the outfit I am wearing. I did make sure for this video that all of the coats are in the description below if you want to use any of the coats, or if you're interested in any of them, you can find them in the description below now. They will also be on my card at the end of this island once it's finished, but yeah, for right now they are all you can also find them in the description. And as I said earlier, I was really all over the place with this build, because at this very moment I went to go grab apples, then I found some random item in my storage and I was like, oh yeah, that could look cute there, and I got really distracted again and sidetracked. And I was decorating a little bit again before I realized, oh yeah, I needed to go. I needed to go stunt that tree, and I needed to go plant my other trees. And this is also again a little bit sped up, because otherwise this video was going to be way too long. And there's also going to be some changes in my trees, because I didn't really love how I staggered them at first. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I wasn't really loving the height differences that I had going on. So I needed to switch some around. You can also see I shot down a balloon there with a dropped present. I'm gonna try and do that all over the island wherever I can, wherever it's fitting for a particular build, or just, you know, for you to find. That's actually a really cute idea. I'm gonna leave that in. At the end of the island, I'm gonna challenge you to find all of the dropped presents. That's going to be so cute. So if you're someone who watches my videos as a regular, you're probably gonna have no trouble finding them. Now I'm just going in with some decayed trees to dancing up the area a little bit, just moving things around a little bit. I also cut out some stuff where I placed down the egg. Today's video is not my proudest moment. Not the build, I'm really happy about the build, but just how I handled all of it. It was just not great. Here I had to be really careful not to pick up this present, because I really wanted to keep it there. But I also wanted to get that wheat field in the right place, so it was a little bit higgledy-piggledy and a little bit nitpickety, but I managed to get it in there anyway. It will go for all of these builds. I am not going to do any of the foliage in any of these builds. That will be done off camera and will be shown in the end result. But we are almost nearing the end of this video, just placing down the last few bits and bobs, and then I'm gonna leave you with the end result. Thank you again for watching this video. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. And see you tomorrow with yet another video. Bye bye.